Good evening. It's a Saturday night. We were supposed to do this yesterday, but I had some things going on. But hey, it doesn't matter. We're here now. And that means week 11 is underway. And boy, were we gifted with a good game 2 nights ago with the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Today, we're going to talk about that game, and then we're going to go over what the Saints have planned for their matchup Sunday against their division rival, the Atlanta Falcons. So, are you ready to get your fix? Well, let's get started with the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks, in which their first matchup resulted in a Cardinals win. Okay, this time was different, as the Seattle Seahawks controlled the entire game really from the get-go and stayed just enough ahead to solidify a 28-21 victory. Now, with how good the Cardinals defense has been, even though it hasn't been top-notch, I thought they would have been able, to at least force 1 or 2 turnovers, but that wasn't the case. Russell Wilson, like I noted a couple days ago, has been real sloppy the past couple games, but 2 nights ago, he played really good. 23 for 28, 197 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, while he also ran the ball 10 times for 42 yards. Now, the Cardinals don't have a bad defense by any means because they still had a chance to walk away victorious. There's a reason Russell Wilson had to run the ball 10 times because that defensive line, even without Chandler Jones, is great. They sacked Russell 3 times and forced him to run 10 times. They made him as uncomfortable as they possibly could so that, they had a chance to win the game. Russell was able to just, pick apart that Arizona defense just because they knew they were going to have to make sure Arizona's defense was going to have to lock up DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett on the medium to deep routes. So they had to stick with those short passes and the running game. Now, they established the running game right away. And from then on, they were able to control the entire game. Carlos Hyde actually had a decent night where he ran the ball 14 times for 79 yards and a touchdown. With no Chris Carson, Seattle had to figure something out, and that's exactly what they did with Carlos Hyde. Now, for the Cardinals, coming off that Hail Murray, if you will, against the Bills, you'd think that they'd come out with a little more firepower, but they didn't. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald was targeted 2 more times than DeAndre Hopkins and had 3 more catches for a total of 62 yards. Okay, when you have to target your number 2 receiver almost the entire game, something isn't working. The Seahawks have played some really bad defense this season, even though the record says otherwise. But last night, they played completely different. The Cardinals played well enough to have a chance to send this game into overtime where, they tried driving down the field but failed to convert a 4th down and gave the Seahawks the ball back where, obviously they take a knee and, seal the game. Now, this wasn't the greatest game, but still a good division battle where the division hasn't been decided quite yet. So, the Cardinals still have a chance, but now they have to worry about the Los Angeles Rams. So we'll see where that division goes in the coming weeks. Let's switch gears to the New Orleans Saints, who have made an interesting decision after Drew Brees suffered a rib injury. The Saints, yesterday, announced that Taysom Hill will be their starting quarterback for their upcoming matchup against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is very interesting, a very interesting move, as if you remember, I thought they would give that starting role to Jameis Winston, especially after they had him take over for Brees when he got injured. Now, we've seen Jameis play before, and we know that he likes to throw a lot of interceptions. He also complements that with a lot of touchdowns, so it's hit and miss. I think the Saints chose to go with Taysom, not just because, he might have won that starting job in practice, but because of how long he's been a part of this Saints organization, how much he just knows and understands, and, the chemistry between the players, unlike Jameis. This is going to be a really fun game to watch just because we're going to be able to finally see the full extent of the way that Taysom Hill plays. And it also gives us a chance, to see how different that Saints offense looks. Well, that's going to end our discussion today, as tomorrow more football will be taking place with a lot of good matchups like the Vikings-Cowboys, Falcons-Saints, Titans-Ravens, Packers-Colts, and then even the Chiefs and Raiders after the Raiders beat them the first game of the season they played. It's going to be a tough second game. So this is going to be this is arguably the best week this season in terms of matchups, so just be ready. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you Monday. And you just got your fix with the Wicks.